You did not hear this by accident. You were led here because a message is already moving toward you, and by the time it reaches your hands, your mind, or your doorstep, you will understand why the wait had to happen this way. I speak now with urgency because the atmosphere around you has shifted, even if your natural eyes have not fully caught it yet. Something is coming that you did not arrange, could not force, and may not even have expected, and yet heaven has been arranging the route, the timing, and the exact moment of arrival with precision. Do not skip this. Do not dismiss the quiet feeling in your spirit. There is a visitor, a message, a signal, a contact, or a divine interruption on its way, and the reason it is unexpected is because it was meant to be unmistakably God. Type Amen if you sense that this is for you, because the first thing you must understand is that heaven has not forgotten your address. There had been long stretches where nothing seemed to move. You may have looked at your phone and seen silence, looked at your door and seen delay, looked at your circumstances and wondered whether something had gone wrong. But I need you to stop and listen carefully. Silence is not the same as absence. Delay is not denial. In the unseen realm, lines of communication have been crossing, doors have been aligning, and hearts you thought were far away have been stirred without your knowledge. What looks like a random message may actually be a carefully timed answer. What looks like an ordinary visitor may be carrying an assignment that has been sealed until this hour. Keep reading because there is something else you need to know. The messenger is not coming alone. The message carries more than words. It carries access, direction, and the beginning of a shift you have been praying for in private. Comment ready if you understand that heaven often answers in ways that surprise the waiting heart. You have spent time in the in-between, the place where promise and fulfillment seem separated by a distance you cannot measure. That is where many become tired, and that is where many begin to assume nothing is happening. But there has been movement behind the veil. A name has been spoken where you could not hear it. A decision has been discussed where you were not present. A path has been considered on your behalf. And yes, there is a hidden reason this communication has been delayed until now. Some messages arrive too early and are ignored. Some visitors come before the heart is ready and are resisted. But this one is being sent at an appointed hour, when your spirit is soft enough to receive what your mind might once have rejected. Do not ignore this part. The surprise is not merely that someone is coming. The surprise is that their arrival will reveal how much heaven has already been working on your behalf. Type 1 believe if you know God can arrange what people cannot predict. There is another layer unfolding, and I want you to pay attention. The visitor may not look like a miracle at first. They may appear ordinary, even familiar, even inconvenient at first glance. That is exactly why many miss divine appointments. The kingdom often arrives wrapped in a simple face, a brief phone call, a delayed reply, a forgotten email, a chance encounter, or a conversation that seems small until later when you realize it changed the direction of your life. Keep your spirit awake. There is a bridge being rebuilt between what was separated. A conversation that stalled is being reopened. A path that seemed closed is showing signs of movement. And there is a sealed piece of information, a quiet revelation, a letter in a spiritual sense, waiting to be opened at the perfect time. Before long, you will realize the message was not only coming to inform you, it was coming to reposition you. Comment God is working, because some of the greatest shifts begin as ordinary moments that carry extraordinary timing. You may have wondered why certain people moved away, why certain connections became silent, why a relationship, an opportunity, or a conversation could not be forced to continue. I need to speak plainly. Not every separation was punishment. Some things were removed because they could not travel with you into the season that is now approaching. Yet there is one connection, one message, one visitor, or one call that has been held back until now because it belongs to this new chapter. The road has been long, but the road was not wasted. Heaven has been using the waiting to prepare both sides of the meeting. What happens next is important. Someone is being ready to speak what you need to hear, and you are being ready to receive it without fear. Keep reading carefully, because this is where the mystery deepens. The message may come through a person who once seemed disconnected from your destiny, yet they are carrying exactly what unlocks the next door. Type 333 if you sense divine alignment beginning. There is a hidden struggle attached to this moment, and it is not outside you first. It is the inner assumption that says, maybe this is nothing, maybe I imagined it, maybe the door will stay shut. That voice has exhausted many. It has caused people to overlook signs, miss calls, ignore invitations, and dismiss the very thing God used to answer them. But the message reaching you now is designed to confront hesitation. It is designed to interrupt unbelief. It is designed to reawaken expectation. A surprising visitor is on the way, and the reason it matters is because they may carry information that changes the way you see your future. Not every revelation comes as thunder. Some arrive as a whisper in a text, a name mentioned in passing, or a door opened by someone you did not expect. Stay until the end, because there is a detail coming that will explain why this felt delayed for so long. Type "Yes, Lord" if you are willing to receive the unexpected way God works. Before we continue, I feel led to share something with you. Over the years, thousands of people have reached out asking for powerful prayers they could pray during difficult seasons of life. That's why I put together a collection of some of the most powerful faith-building prayers I know. These prayers have helped people find peace during anxiety, strength during hardship, and hope when they felt like giving up. The best part is that I decided to make it completely free. If you would like a copy, simply check the link in the description and I'll send it to you. Do not wait until another difficult season arrives. Take it now while it's available and keep it close for the days ahead. Now, there is something else you need to know. Imagine a traveler moving across a long road, carrying a sealed scroll that has remained protected from wind, weather, and delay. That is the picture of what is approaching you. The journey may have taken longer than you wanted, but the contents have not been lost. They have been preserved, and what is preserved by heaven cannot be destroyed by distance. The person, message, or opportunity moving toward you has been guarded through unseen layers. There may even have been resistance around it, subtle opposition, misdirection, and attempts to make it arrive too late or at the wrong moment. But heaven overruled. That is why this announcement comes with urgency. There is more happening than you realize. While you were thinking about what you did not receive, God was arranging what could not be counterfeit. The next revelation changes everything. This arrival is not random, and it is not merely comforting. It is strategic. It will expose what was hidden and confirm what was already written. Type 1 receive if you are ready for what God has protected in transit. Some of you have been standing at a crossroads, and every path seemed to carry uncertainty. One direction felt too slow, another felt too risky, and another looked promising until it faded. But the coming message will clarify what confusion could not. You may not get every answer at once, but you will get enough to take the next step with confidence. That is how heaven often works. Not all at once, but precisely enough. There is an answer on its way that will help you stop circling the same mountain. There is an explanation that will quiet the questions that have kept you awake. There is also a hidden blessing wrapped inside the communication itself. What appears to be simple information may actually be the key to a larger release. So do not leave now. Something unexpected is approaching, and it will arrive in a way that makes you recognize how carefully you were being watched over. Comment blessed because what is coming is not just for relief, but for redirection. The messenger may carry a word of reconciliation, or it may carry information that helps you release what has been holding you in suspense. Either way, the arrival is purposeful. Heaven is not teasing you. Heaven is preparing you. And there is another truth being revealed. The same God who delayed one thing is the God who can accelerate another. Type faith if you believe timing is part of mercy. I want to tell you something that may only make sense later. Behind the scenes, there has been a conversation you were not invited into, but it concerns you. A decision may already have been made about your name, your role, your next opportunity, or your place in a plan you could not yet see. That does not mean you were excluded in the ultimate sense. It means heaven was working before the announcement reached you. This is why the messenger matters. They are not only coming with information, they are coming with evidence that you were remembered while you were waiting. Keep reading carefully. The visitor is carrying confirmation that a season is ending. Some of you will hear something that makes your spirit say, "So that is why it took so long." Others will receive a message that reopens a bridge you thought had collapsed forever. But the common thread is this: nothing about this arrival is accidental. It is timed, it is appointed, it is charged with purpose. Comment still standing if you have survived long enough to see God's timing become visible. There are moments when heaven uses interruption as mercy. You thought your life was moving one way, then suddenly a delay, a pause, a silence, or a detour appeared. It was frustrating, yes, but it may have kept you from accepting the wrong thing at the wrong time. Now, as the next communication approaches, you will understand that certain closed doors protected your future. That is why you must not resent the waiting. The waiting has been a watchtower. It has revealed where your heart was vulnerable, where your trust needed strengthening, and where your expectations needed to shift from people to God. But now the horizon is changing. A new kind of message is on its way, and it may come from someone whose timing surprises you. The surprise is part of the blessing. The unexpected nature of the messenger is part of the proof that this is not man orchestrating the moment. Comment "My time is coming" if you feel the atmosphere shifting around your future. You may have thought the story was about one message, but there is more happening than you realize. Sometimes the first thing you receive is not the full revelation, only the beginning of a chain reaction. A contact leads to an opening leads to a conversation leads to a restored path leads to a new assignment. That is why this moment is so significant. The upcoming communication is not simply informative. It is catalytic. It will start movement in areas that have been frozen. It may also expose hidden resistance, because whenever God begins to unlock something meaningful, something else tries to delay it through fear, doubt, or distraction. Do not let your attention drift. The clue is in the arrival. The messenger, the call, the letter, the encounter, the unexpected update, each one is carrying more than meets the eye. And the next revelation will confirm that heaven has been tracing your steps with intentionality. Type 777 if you are believing for holy completion and divine order. Many people watching this message have been carrying burdens they never talk about. If that sounds like you, I want to give you something special. I created a free prayer guide filled with powerful prayers for protection, breakthrough, peace, healing, and strength. Thousands of believers have already downloaded it and shared how much it encouraged them during difficult moments. There is absolutely no cost. I simply wanted to place this resource into the hands of people who need it most. If you feel led, go to the description and claim your free copy before continuing. One prayer prayed at the right moment can change more than you realize. Now listen carefully, because the next part of this message is important. There is a bridge theme in this message for a reason. Bridges connect what was separated. They allow movement where there used to be distance, and some of you have been standing on one side of a gap, wondering whether the other side still exists. I'm telling you now, the bridge is not gone. It has been under repair in ways you could not see. The visitor or message on its way may be the first sign that travel across that gap is now possible. This could mean reconciliation, renewed communication, restored trust, or an invitation to step into territory that was once inaccessible. But be wise. Not every bridge is crossed quickly. Some are crossed with discernment, because the purpose is not merely reconnection, but alignment. There is a coming encounter that will test whether you are prepared to receive what you once prayed for. Stay until the end, because the hidden blessing is not just in hearing from someone, it is in discovering what God was protecting through the silence. Type protected if you know heaven has covered you even when you felt forgotten. And now I need to speak to the weary heart. You have been through enough to become suspicious of hope. You have learned to brace for disappointment before good news can even settle in. But this is a moment to loosen your grip on fear. A surprising visitor is approaching, and they may not even know the full weight of what they are carrying. Heaven often places destiny inside ordinary movements. That is why a simple notification can alter an entire season. A brief conversation can remove confusion. A delayed answer can finally arrive with more clarity than you expected. You do not need to control the form. You only need to remain open to the God who sends what you need at the exact time it will do the most good. There is a future event tied to this message, and before this season ends, you will look back and say the waiting was part of the miracle. Comment ready again if your spirit is beginning to anticipate what your mind cannot yet calculate. I sense there are people hearing this who have almost given up on hearing back. You sent the message, made the effort, left the door open, and then waited in quiet confusion. But the silence was not the final word. There has been a hidden movement toward you, and what arrives may not come in the way you imagined. Do not limit God by the shape of the delivery. The messenger may be carrying a correction, a confirmation, a favor, or a truth that makes a past burden finally make sense. There may even be a name mentioned that you have not heard in a long time, and that name will stir a memory you thought was finished. Be careful not to rush past the ordinary details, because the extraordinary is often tucked inside them. The next revelation changes everything, and it may arrive through a seemingly small sentence that carries a very large consequence. Type 1 Trust God if you are ready to receive without controlling the outcome. There is also a warning here. Do not let familiarity blind you. If the answer comes wrapped in a form you did not expect, do not overlook it. If the visitor is different from what your imagination designed, do not reject the blessing because it arrived humbly. Heaven is asking you to discern, not to assume. Some people pray for a door and then ignore the person holding the key because they expected a grander entrance. But the kingdom often moves quietly at first. Then suddenly, the significance becomes undeniable. That is the atmosphere around your life right now. Something is on its way, and it has the potential to confirm, redirect, or restore. Keep reading because the deeper mystery is this. What is coming may also reveal who has been speaking about you in hidden places, and not all of it has been harmful. Some of it has been advocacy. Some of it has been preparation. Some of it has been heaven answering prayers you forgot you prayed. Type chosen if you believe your life is under divine attention. I want you to see the picture clearly. A distant traveler is nearing the horizon. A sealed message is nearing delivery. A doorway that seemed dormant is beginning to stir. The valley is not the whole story. The road through the wilderness is not wasted. The very path that felt empty has been lined with unseen protection. You are not waiting for random luck. You are waiting for appointed timing. And when it arrives, it will not just inform you, it will mark a transition. You may hear words that release relief, or you may encounter someone who suddenly understands your value. You may receive confirmation of what you were afraid to believe. But I need you to stay awake until the end, because the full effect of this visitation is greater than the first sound of it. There is a coming shift, and it will touch your confidence, your direction, and your sense of being seen. Type Amen if you believe heaven is about to make the hidden visible. The final thing I need to tell you is this. When the message arrives, pause before you react. When the visitor appears, listen before you decide. When the opportunity opens, discern before you dismiss. The surprise is part of the arrangement, but so is your response. Heaven has been preparing the moment, and now you are being prepared to meet it with faith. This is not the hour to retreat into old wounds or to let fear interpret the future. This is the hour to recognize that a holy appointment is drawing near. A conversation may heal what distance wounded. A word may unlock what pressure blocked. A simple encounter may become the turning point you never saw coming. And when it happens, you will understand why this message reached you now. Not before, not after, but now. Comment "I receive" if you are ready for the unexpected hand of God to move in your direction. So remain alert, stay expected, do not ignore the small signs, the sudden thoughts, the unusual timing, or the person who reappears without warning. The surprise is on its way, and it is carrying more than you know. Heaven has already arranged the route, sealed the timing, and guarded the delivery. What seemed delayed was being protected. What seemed hidden was being prepared. And what seems ordinary may soon become the moment you remember as the beginning of a new chapter. Take this as your reminder that you are not overlooked, not forgotten, and not abandoned. The messenger is approaching. The message is nearing release. And before long, you will look back and realize that God had been answering you all along. Type 333 if you believe the unseen has already begun moving toward the scene. Before you leave, remember that my free prayer collection is waiting for you in the description below. Thousands of people have already downloaded it and used these prayers during seasons of anxiety, uncertainty, spiritual battles, and breakthrough. I made it completely free because I want every believer to have access to powerful prayers when they need them most. If this message encouraged you today, make sure you claim your free copy before you go. And if this message spoke to your heart, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and leave your prayer request in the comments so this community can stand with you in faith. May God bless you, strengthen you, and guide every step ahead.